Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Caleb, and in today's video I'll be giving you tips and strategies to consider each time you want to bet on the over 1.5 goals market. Guys, it is a very tricky one when it comes to the goals market because sometimes we expect lots of goals in a particular game, but yet we don't get that. While other times we don't expect lots of goals, but yet we get lots of goals in a particular game. So it's a very tricky one. But guys, I'll be giving you strategies to consider each time you are selecting games for the over 1.5 goals market. And these strategies I'm about to give you, I have actually been using them for quite some time now, and they are really working, guys. And also, I thought it wise to share it with you so that you also can improve your predictions on over 1.5 goals each time you want to bet on them. There are two strategies in number, and they are very key for you to win the over 1.5 goals bet each time you bet on them. Guys, before I go into these strategies, please, I want you to help support the channel. Please leave a thumbs up on the video and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification so that you'll be notified each time a new video is uploaded. So guys, without wasting much time, I'll go straight into these strategies. The very first strategy to consider is the goals scored and goals conceded strategy. This is a very key strategy because here we are dealing with goals, and to ascertain if a game can actually go over 1.5, then we should be looking at the goals section of the league table. Now I'll be going with example. Let's say Aston Villa at home against Brighton, and we want to ascertain if we can play this game for over 1.5 goals. The first strategy, which is our goals scored and goals conceded, we have to look at them very keenly. Here we will be finding the average goals scored and average goals conceded per game. Now, to start with the average goals scored per game, we have to go to Aston Villa, which is our home team, and try to determine or to see their average goals scored per game. And guys, when it comes to the average goals scored per game, our acceptance average is 1.80. 1.80 in the sense that at least Aston Villa can be able to score a single goal in that game. And with the 1.80, it moves us closer to the 2 goals mark, meaning they are more than likely to score 1.8, they are more than likely to score at least a single goal in that particular game. Now, how do we get our average goals scored for Aston Villa? We simply go to the goals section and take their total number of goals scored and divide it by their total number of matches played. Let's say, for example, Aston Villa scored 19 goals in 10 games. Now, to get their average, we simply take 19 goals divided by 10 games, which will give us 1.90. Now, with the 1.90, it is way above our 1.80 acceptance average, meaning Aston Villa is more than capable of scoring a single goal within 90 minutes of that game. So we leave that one and give a tick on it. The next one, we go for the Brighton. We have to look for Brighton's average goals scored per game, meaning we will have to go and take their goals and divide it also by their number of matches played. Let's say in this case, Brighton scored 18 goals. When we divide 18 goals divided by their number of games played, which is 10, we will get 1.8, meaning it is equal to our 1.80 acceptance average, meaning Brighton also is more than likely to score at least a goal in that game. So with these averages, it tells us that both teams are moving towards the 2 goals per game average, meaning they are more than likely to score against each other in that game. But guys, there are situations where one team will be equal to or above our 1.80 acceptance average and the other team will be below. For example, let's say if we had Aston Villa at 1.90 and then Brighton comes at 1.60 or 1.70, then we have to ascertain if Aston Villa can be able to score 2 goals and above in that game for us to play it or not. And also, if we can ascertain that Aston Villa can score, then we have to also look at Brighton, despite the fact that they are below our acceptance average. We have to take other things into consideration, which I will give you in our second strategy. So we'll keep that one hanging. But guys, if you do these averages and you realize that both teams are way below our 1.80 acceptance average, then guys, don't go for that game. For example, if you do the Aston Villa average goals scored per game and it gives you 1.60 and you do that of Brighton, it gives you 1.50 or 1.40 or 1.60, then guys, don't go for that game because they may be more than likely for both teams not to even score in the game. So guys, that is that for our average goals scored. Now, when we have ascertained on that, we have to go to the average goals conceded. Now, guys, with the average goals conceded, we are doing the same maths, but this time we are taking the total number of goals conceded by both teams. For example, let's say in these 10 games, Aston Villa actually conceded 13 goals in those 10 games. We would simply take 13 goals divided by the 10 games, which will give us a 1.30 mark, which is the average. And guys, when it comes to the average goals conceded, we are looking for 1.30 as our acceptance average. Now, guys, if Aston Villa conceded 13 goals on 10, it gives us a 1.30, meaning it is equal to our acceptance average. It means Aston Villa is also more than likely to concede goal in that particular game. It means on average they concede at least a single goal per game, meaning they are more than likely to concede at least a single goal in that particular game, especially given the fact that Brighton also has a very high goal scoring average. But guys, if that average, that's the average goals conceded, is below 1.30, then we have to be very careful if we have to bet on those games. Let's say Aston Villa conceded 10 goals out of the 10 games, it means it gives them an average of 1.0, meaning they are more than likely not to concede. It means they are more than likely not to concede in that game. So guys, we need to be very careful. We are looking at a 1.30 average goals conceded. If it is more than that or higher, then you are good to go because that team shows that they concede at least a single goal in each and every game. So guys, you do same for Brighton as well. And if Brighton's average goals conceded is 130 and above, then they are more than likely to concede in that particular game, especially given the fact that Aston Villa has a very high average goals scored per game. So guys, that is that for the average goals scored and the average goals conceded in the game. Once you can ascertain this, then it is more than likely that those two teams can score against each other, and it is more likely for you to get your over 1.5 goals in that game. And please don't forget, when you are looking for the average goals scored per game, our acceptance average is 1.80. And when you are looking for the average goals conceded, our acceptance average is 1.30, with baseline being 1.75 and 1.25 respectively. So guys, That is that for the first strategy. And our second strategy now is the current goal scoring form. I didn't say the current form, I said the current goal scoring form, meaning a team cannot be in good form, but they are in a very good goal scoring form. An example can be Luton Town of last season in the Premier League, where they were in a very bad run of form, but they were scoring goals. They scored lots of goals, given that they were a team that actually was relegated at the end of the season. They actually scored 52 goals in total, giving them an average of 1.36 over 38 games. So, guys, we should be looking at the current goal scoring form. And how do you know the current goal scoring form? The last 5 matches of every team will tell you all you need to know about that team in that particular period. Remember, when we were looking for our goals scored and goals conceded, I told you that there are times where you get a high goal scored, a high average goal scored for one team, and then a low average goal scored for another team. How do you ascertain if you can play them? Number one is to check if the team with the high goal scoring form can actually score 2 goals and above in that game. For example, Manchester City, Arsenal, Barcelona. And also, now with the team which is not up to our acceptance average of 180 in the average goal scored, then we should be looking at their current goal scoring form. In their last 5 games, how many goals have they scored? And in how many matches of those 5 games? So here we should be looking at teams that have been able to score at least 4 times out of 5 in their last 5 games. And we should be considering their number of goals which they have actually scored in that time period. If you can ascertain that they have been able to score at least a single goal in each of their last 5 games, then it is good to go. If you can ascertain that they have been able to score a single goal in at least 4 of their last 5 games, then it should be good to go as well. So their current goal scoring form actually plays a very big role, because don't forget, in the average goals scored and average goals conceded, we took their total number of goals, meaning a team can be in form long time back and we have added those goals to calculate the average goals scored per game. But here on the current form, we are looking just at their last 5 games, their goal scoring form. If they can be able to score, let's say in 4 out of 5 of those last 5 games, then they are in a very good goal scoring form at the moment, especially if they have been able to score at least 2 goals and above. But guys, we should be looking at teams that have been able to score at least 1 goal in their last 5 games. So guys, those are the tips and strategies you can really consider whenever you want to place a bet on the over 1.5 goals market. These tips, I have been using them for a very, very long time now, and they actually work for me. And I know, guys, if you use these tips in predicting your over 1.5 goals, then you should have no problem winning your bets at least 90% of the time. Please, guys, use these tips and give me feedbacks in the comment section, because I really, really want to know how these tips work for you. Please stay tuned to the channel, because I'll be coming up with more and more tips and also with more and more prediction videos. Please, guys, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Stay tuned to the channel, guys, because I'll be seeing you in the next one. Thank you.